Hey, it's my new channel Devil's Algorithm. If you like this channel, do like and share. If not, don't and let me know why not. America, land of the free, home of the brave, and global puppet master? Okay, maybe not that last one, officially. But let's face it, the US has a knack for getting its way. No, not always with tanks and troops, though there's plenty of that too. We're talking about something sneakier, something that seeps into your life without you even realizing it. It's called soft power. Think of it like this. You know those ads that follow you around the internet? You click on a pair of shoes and suddenly, bam, they're everywhere, haunting your every online move. That's creepy, right? Well, that's kind of how soft power works, but on a global scale. America's got its fingers in everything. Movies, music, technology, you name it. And they use it all to spread their influence, their values, their way of life. It's subtle, it's pervasive, and it's damn effective. Don't believe me? Let's dive in and see how deep the rabbit hole really goes. Ever wonder why American movies are so popular worldwide? It's not just because they're good, though some of them are, I'll give them that. It's because they're packed full of American ideals, freedom, individualism, the triumph of the little guy, who usually happens to be American. From action heroes saving the world to rom-coms set in impossibly beautiful New York apartments, these movies paint a very specific picture of what a good life looks like. And guess what? It usually involves speaking English, wearing blue jeans, and drinking Coca-Cola. Coincidence? I think not. And it's not just movies. American music, fashion, even food, it's everywhere. Walk down any street in any major city, and you'll see the same brands, hear the same songs, and maybe even smell the same questionable fast food. It's cultural globalization, baby, and America's leading the charge. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with sharing your culture with the world, except maybe for Crocs. Those are just unforgivable. But when a single country has this much influence over what we watch, listen to, and even wear, it's worth asking. Are we really making our own choices, or are we just buying into a carefully crafted image of the American dream? Let's talk about the internet, shall we? That vast, wild west of information where you can find anything and everything. Or so you thought. Because while the internet may have started as a decentralized utopia, it's quickly become another tool in America's soft power arsenal. Think about it. Who controls the platforms we use every day? Facebook? Google? Amazon? Yeah, those guys. American companies, all of them. And they're not just providing a service, they're shaping the way we see the world. Algorithms curate our news feeds, showing us what they think we want to see or what they want us to think. Targeted advertising manipulates our desires, convincing us to buy things we didn't even know we needed. And social media platforms amplify certain voices while silencing others, creating echo chambers where dissenting opinions go to die. The scary part? Most of us don't even realize it's happening. We're so plugged into this matrix of information that we've lost the ability to see the code. We're like those blue-pilled sheeple in the Matrix, blissfully unaware of the strings being pulled behind the scenes. Okay, enough about the touchy-feely stuff. Let's talk about money, because as we all know, money talks. And in America's case, it shouts from the rooftops with a megaphone. See, soft power isn't just about culture and technology, it's also about good old-fashioned economic muscle. America has its fingers in so many global pies, it's hard to keep track. Trade deals, foreign aid, military alliances, they all create a web of dependence that keeps other countries in line. Need a loan from the World Bank? Better play nice with the US, which just happens to be the largest shareholder. Want access to cutting-edge technology? Well, most of the big players are American companies, so you'd better be prepared to play by their rules. And if you step out of line? Well, let's just say the US has a long history of using its economic might to punish its enemies and reward its friends. Remember those freedom fries from back in the day? Yeah, that was America flexing its economic muscles and its questionable culinary taste to punish France for opposing the Iraq War. Petty? Maybe. Effective? Absolutely. Section 5. Friends with benefits: how alliances keep America on top. Let's be real, nobody likes a bully. That's why America's been so smart about building a network of alliances and partnerships around the world. It's like they say, keep your friends close and your enemies closer, and then maybe sign a lucrative trade deal with them. NATO, the UN, the WTO, these organizations all give the US a seat at the table, a chance to shape global policy and promote its interests. They also provide a handy excuse for military intervention when needed. After all, what's the point of having all those fancy weapons if you never get to use them? But it's not just about brute force. These alliances also serve a more subtle purpose. They create a sense of shared values and goals. When you are constantly working together, sharing intelligence and training troops, it starts to feel like you're all on the same team, fighting for the same cause. Of course, the reality is a bit more complicated than that. But as long as America can maintain this facade of unity and cooperation, it's free to keep calling the shots. Section 6. Level up, lose control, gaming the system, gaming your mind. Remember those all-night gaming binges in your parents' basement? Turns out, those weren't just a waste of time. They were also a crash course in the psychology of manipulation, courtesy of some very clever game designers and their corporate overlords. Think about it. What are the core elements of most video games? Competition, rewards, and a constant feedback loop that keeps you coming back for more. Sound familiar? That's because social media platforms use the same principles to keep us hooked. Every like, every share, every notification is a little dopamine hit, a tiny reward that reinforces our behavior. We're constantly striving for that next level, that next achievement, whether it's a high score in Candy Crush or 1,000 followers on Instagram. And the more time we spend on these platforms, the more data we generate, the more valuable we become to advertisers, and the more effectively they can target us with personalized messages that exploit our deepest desires and insecurities. It's a vicious cycle, and it's making us all more susceptible to manipulation. Section 7. The Puppet Masters of Silicon Valley, AI's Invisible Strings. Remember how we talked about algorithms earlier? Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because things are about to get a whole lot creepier. Because now we're not just talking about lines of code. We're talking about artificial intelligence, the technology that's supposed to save the world. Or enslave us all, depending on who you ask. AI is everywhere these days. From the facial recognition software on your phone to the algorithms that recommend your next Netflix binge. And it's only getting more powerful. We're talking about machines that can learn, adapt, and even predict our behavior with frightening accuracy. Now, imagine that power in the hands of a few powerful corporations, or worse, a single government. Suddenly, we're not just talking about targeted advertising, we're talking about the potential for mass manipulation on a scale we've never seen before. Imagine a world where AI curates your newsfeed, chooses your entertainment, and even whispers suggestions into your ear, all based on a detailed analysis of your hopes, fears, and deepest desires. Sound like science fiction? Think again. The future is now, and it's watching you. And Section 8. The Emperor's New Algorithm. When the code cracks, so does the power. But here's the thing about soft power. It's built on a foundation of trust. As long as people believe in the American dream, as long as they buy into the idea of American exceptionalism, the system works. But what happens when that trust erodes? What happens when people wake up to the fact that they're being manipulated, that their choices aren't really their own, that the system is rigged against them? That's when things start to get interesting. Remember the Arab Spring? The Occupy Wall Street movement? The Black Lives Matter protests? These were all examples of people using technology to organize, mobilize, and challenge the status quo. They were proof that soft power isn't invincible, that the emperor's new clothes are just that, clothes. And as AI becomes more powerful, as the line between reality and simulation blurs, it's only going to become harder to maintain the illusion of control. Because when the code cracks, the power cracks with it. Section 9. The future of control. Will we choose our AI overlords, or will they choose us? So, here we are, standing on the precipice of a brave new world, a world where technology has the power to shape our thoughts, our desires, and even our very identities. The question is, who will control that power? Will it be a handful of tech giants in Silicon Valley? Will it be the governments of the world, eager to maintain their grip on power? Or will it be us, the people, the ones who are supposedly in control of our own destinies? The answer, my friends, is up to us. We can choose to be passive consumers, allowing ourselves to be manipulated by algorithms and seduced by carefully crafted narratives. Or we can choose to be active participants, demanding transparency, accountability, and a say in how our future unfolds. The choice is ours. Choose wisely. Thanks for visiting this channel. Goodbye, catch you later.